Hey guys, Beast 1210. Wanted a quick little review, not so much as the knives I have, but sort of in theory of going lightweight, and never been a big proponent of ultra lightweight, but I am looking to do the Pacific Crest Trail next year, and a lot of those through hikers, you become very weary about ounces. Ounces, just a couple here and there, turn into a pound, and it's pretty interesting. They've done some little stats. You can probably Google them or something, but it's like for every extra, what is it, like ounce that you carry over the the Appalachian Trail, and equates you to carrying 3 tons 7 feet. So imagine trying to pick up your car and walking 7 feet with your car. You sort of get the idea. I mean, the Pacific Crest Trail's over 2,600 miles from Mexico to Canada. So over those several months, 4.5 to 5 months, you can kind of get the idea of what you carry is very important. And started getting me thinking, if I have the gear that is able to do that. So I'm going to be switching over. This is something I won't be carrying, but has always been my trusty little mid-size. It's a Gerber. It's got that plastic composite handle. It's got a nice blade on top, and then it does have in its handle a nice little saw. So I haven't really carried like a Laplander or the Kirchhoff foldable saw, because I already had this little guy in there and it kind of served that purpose. Also helps quite a bit when you're trying to make winter shelters in the snow, trying to cut through kind of ice snow, sort of making an igloo or whatnot, but it helps carve out nice little sections in snow. If I'm not carrying this, we'll kind of skip this for now. This is the Gerber Lmf. It's got a really nice sheath to it. I don't know if you can see that. In there, underneath the sheath, is a carbide V for sharpening. And so it's got a nice nylon belt loop. It's got a bottom loop as well for MOLLE. It came with this leg strap and a strap you can put up there. You can actually wear as a belt, or if you want to lower on the leg, you can use both straps across your like calf or whatever. I usually run that through the belt loop and this around the thigh. Nice sheath, locks it into place really well. I gotta get a scale so I can start weighing stuff, but you can see it's a pretty good blade. It's very large. It's got a good spine on it. It's got a nice drop down here. It is partially serrated, which I've never been a huge fan of, but if you kind of need a little bit of everything task, it does pretty good. This one's beat up pretty good. It's got some good scratches on it. The black's starting to come off a little bit, but it holds a very good edge. The metal tang runs sort of almost all the way through. It has a really nice rubber grip handle, and it's big enough to wear with gloves. Your hand's not going to slip. It's got this what they call like a cockpit breaker. Essentially, it's this back handle area that's supposed to be able to break plexiglass or glass and all that kind of stuff. It does have a hole there and 2 holes there. You're supposed to be able to lash this to a stick to use as a spear and whatnot. It's sort of the Army's edition of, or actually the Air Force version. I don't know. It's worked really well. It splits logs very decently. It's got a good sized blade, very thick, and it's sort of been my go-to knife if I'm only going to carry one knife, which I suppose rarely happens. The flip side of that, if you need to cut some big logs, I mean, it's going to take you quite a while with that little knife to get through some good sized logs, especially if you don't have a hatchet. If you guys have seen this before, it's I believe it's Ultimate Survival Technology as the company. They do the blast match, and they distribute the wet fires, and they've got a couple other really nice products. And this is their version of the little hand wire saw. I kind of might take this. This doesn't weigh but a couple ounces. It has more of a chainsaw blade on it than the wire saw you can see on there. And instead of the cute little rings, that break your fingers, it's got nice big straps on it. This will chew through a pretty good sized log in no matter of minutes. So without having to chop for days on end, with a smaller knife than that, and not having an axe, it's a pretty good option. So going into my lightweight knives, we'll kind of skip here to the end. Shown this before. This is the Leatherman Skeletool. This is still carried every day. It's got a little bit of everything. Decent sized little blade on it. It is 154 cm. Holds a super sharp blade. Opens lots of boxes and whatnot at work. And I probably will just carry this anyway in my pocket, on my pants, maybe a little lanyard so I don't lose it. So go to a medium knife. Obviously for ultra lightweight, I'll probably take this little guy for a couple reasons. One, obviously the cheesy little plastic sheath, the fairly indestructible plastic handle. This is the carbon version of the Swedish Mora. Picked it up for $9 at the hardware store. They also carried the stainless one. I gave it to my sister. But for the price, whether or not it's a Forest Service guy or you're in town and they want to take it away from you, you're not going to be out a whole lot of money. The bright colors, so you probably won't lose it, but for whatever reason, if you got lost or something happened, you're out $9. So it doesn't weigh but nothing. And again, I got to get a scale so I can weigh out some of the gear that I'll be testing for this through hike. But because of all the plastic on it, really, it's probably one of the lightest knives I'll have. You can feel the weight as soon as you pick up the Rat 3, but the Rat 3 has always been a great knife. Super comfortable handle. With this groove, I can hold it a little bit better with my hands because I got some pretty large hands. You know, it's a decent sized blade. It holds a great edge, so it's a wonderful knife for its size. I don't know if any knife of its size, and because I don't keep the sheath attachment on. There's no tech lock, there's no belt loop, and you know, I can put this in my front pocket and no one will know I have it. So I don't know, for its size, I think it carries the most bang for the buck. I would definitely not worry about chopping down, you know, a pretty good sized log with this or splitting wood. I wouldn't worry about it, really. I would know that it would always perform the way I wanted to. This little guy does some great carving tasks, you know, good camp knife. I haven't put it through a lot of abuse, but it's a smaller knife, you know, and for $9, I don't know that I would trust it to, I guess, make the 2,600 miles. You know, maybe I'll have to pack a couple of these and trade them out or something, but it is definitely the lightest weight option I have. I would say it's even, well, again, I'll have to get a scale. I might even say that my Skeletool's heavier, just because this is all plastic with one little blade, and the rest are all, you know, it's very compact, but it's got a lot of metal in there. So that is sort of my choices that I've given myself to pack along. You know, no axe, so maybe the saw, so I can still split some wood with the frost. And always trust my, you know, always have a backup essentially with that guy if I keep it on there. So let me know what you guys think, and maybe other lightweight options that you might run into. So this is a new camping pad of mine, and hopefully it serves as a pretty good background, or maybe it's driving you all nuts because it looks kind of cool on the camera. But yeah, please post comments and let me know what you guys, you know, obviously I'm not looking to get a $300, you know, Helium Field graphite handle, you know, super crazy knife, but something lightweight and that I can trust for 2,600 miles without having to worry about it. And let me know what you think. Thanks.